What she sold me for will shock you. I didn't rush to read the papers when they were finally handed to me. I remember sitting alone on a low concrete step behind the house. The evening was quiet. Not peaceful, just quiet. The papers were old, edges worn, ink slightly faded. There was no official language about love or responsibility. No promise of protection, just proof that money exchanged hands. The amount was smaller than I expected. Not enough to build a house. Not enough to start a business. Not enough to change her life. But enough to change mine. I sat there for a long time, staring at the numbers, thinking about my childhood. How I tried so hard to be invisible. How I learned to apologize even when I wasn't wrong. How I blamed myself for not being chosen. All those years, I thought I was difficult to love. That something in me was broken. But the truth was simpler and harder. I wasn't rejected. I was bargained. And for the first time in my life, I stopped hating myself for it. I thought about my mother. About the fear in her eyes that day I confronted her. About the hunger she spoke of. About the loneliness that pushed her to make a decision she could never undo. What she did was wrong. But it wasn't done out of hatred. It was done out of survival. Understanding that didn't erase the pain. But it gave it a place to rest. That evening, I realized something important. Carrying anger for too long doesn't punish the past. It only steals from the future. So I made a quiet decision. I would not become what my past tried to reduce me to. I would not let that small amount of money be the final value placed on my life. I may not have been protected as a child, but I can protect the person I'm becoming. I may not have been chosen then, but I can choose myself now. Some people start life with advantage. Some start with trauma. What matters isn't where you start. It's what you decide to build with what you were given. My story didn't begin with love, but it will not end without purpose. If you're listening to this and carrying a past you didn't choose, I need you to know this. Your beginning does not define your ending, and what was taken from you does not cancel what is still possible. I walked away that day lighter, not because the past changed, but because I finally understood that my future is still mine.